The police investigate crimes in this country, and then when they have completed their investigation, they'll come to the CPS to ask us for charging advice. So we'll look at the evidence that the police give to us, and we make our decisions in accordance with a document called the Code for Crown Prosecutors, which is available publicly on our website. And it sets out the tests that prosecutors apply. So they have to be certain that there's a realistic prospect of conviction, making sure that there's admissible evidence there, and also that it's in the public interest to take a prosecution. So we decide whether or not to take cases to court, and they can be anything from traffic cases through to theft or violence cases through to murders and rape at the top end, and terrorist cases. So we have prosecutors in all areas across England and Wales, and we prosecute somewhere in the region of over 700,000 cases a year, both in the Magistrates' Court and the Crown Court. So once we've decided to charge a case, prosecutors will review the case and either present it to the court if it's a guilty plea, or prepare it for court if it's a trial, decide which witnesses to warn, and then present the case at trial as well. Yes, when the case is first brought to court, so when we've decided to charge a case, we've said there is enough evidence for a realistic prospect of conviction. So a defendant is asked whether or not they want to plead guilty or whether they want to go to trial. If they go to trial, the case will be adjourned for the court. So in the magistrates, it will be either a qualified judge, or it will be a team of three lay magistrates, or in the Crown Court it's a judge and a jury. But once it's gone to trial, we will present the evidence, decide which witnesses to call to give evidence before the court. That evidence will be tested by the defence, and then the tribunal, the jury or the magistrates will decide on the guilt of the defendant. If they decide that the defendant is guilty beyond all reasonable doubt, then they will convict. So they have a different test. Our test is there a realistic prospect of conviction? Whereas the tribunal will decide whether there is a conviction beyond all reasonable doubt should happen.